Hey everybody, Brandon with Bearded CB82, and today we're looking at something from Easthills Outdoors. Now this is their Mammoth Polar Fleece Blanket. Now they've got a lot of purposes for this blanket. Now how nice is it? Well, as you can see by the outside case and by the premise of the stitching all the way across just on the case, makes you wonder how nice everything is. Now, on that note, I will say that I will thank Easthills Outdoors for providing me for this for review. Had it out a little bit, played with it a little bit. I looked at everything on here, all the stitching on the blanket itself, and these guys did pay attention to detail. Everything from the closure on this, which is actual nice cord, the nice close end, and even metallic eyelets where it goes through. They actually did a really good job on this blanket. It's not too often. Sometimes you get some of these companies and they might throw things in on the cheap. This was less so of that nature. Now, some of you are gonna ask, what's the price range on this guy? $60, but I think, especially for my intended uses, it's gonna be worth every penny. And we're gonna get it spread out here and kind of show you guys how it looks. All right, so as you can see, now the measurements on this are just shy of 5 feet by 7 feet long. It's got plenty of space to it. Now, the one thing that they told me about, and I even tested this at home already, was reflective material, basically, because you've got your waterproof, basically, it's kind of like a sill nylon on one side, protect it from water if you've got any dew, or if it was rainy out the day before. You can actually lay this down, unlike a lot of the other picnic style blankets out there. This will keep the moisture away, because a lot of them will have like a canvas or a duck cloth side on one side, flannel on the other. Like, well, I've got one somewhere in the truck. They can be a little bit hygroscopic and water absorption might be an issue. Not so much with this thing. Now also, it is seamed and double stitched the whole way around. They, like I said, when they paid attention to detail on this blanket, they did just that. The fleece side, very soft, very supple, and also heat reflectivity. Now this is where it's going to come into play. Heat reflectivity, obviously, if you're going to use this as a ground blanket inside of your winter style shelter like a tent, being able to keep some of the heat being drawn from you or your sleeping system back into the ground when it's cold out. Here's your protective barrier, and that means you won't have to carry around, say, Reflectix, other things of that nature that might be a little bit crinkly, bubbly, all those things. You actually have something that's still relatively comfortable as a heat barrier for you, prevent heat loss, and kind of keep your nights from getting that are already cold getting colder. I've had it happen before, and it's not fun. Now, also on this note would be my intended purpose of use, which is going to be for a hammock underquilt in the intermediate temps. Now, I have my my sleeping bag that sets completely entirely over my hammock for winter, because it's got to be 30 degrees or colder in order for me to use it, otherwise I'll overheat. I've been trying to play around with some systems as a style of underquilt without actually having to have a separate underquilt for everything. Now if you're hiking, that's a different story, but like me, most of what we do here in Iowa is kind of basically car camping. I can use this with some tarp clips and encase that around my hammock for, like I said, the intermediate temperatures when it's down around the 40 degrees up to the 60 degrees. So be able to stay warm. And also, let's get the camera moved over here. Picnicking also be a very nice thing. Right here, they actually have a zippered pocket, which is nice because how I lay in my hammock, this would be up towards the head side, and also polar lined on the inside as well. And you could fit an 8-inch phone inside of this thing, because yeah, literally 8 inches. I know that's what she said. By at least, there again, 8 inches, you have a good steady stuff sack to put your belongings, your headlamp and everything else if you're going to be using it like I will. And then also another portion that can be used for, here we're getting ready for winter. Autumn's already on its way in. The fact that it comes in a nice stuff sack, winter preparedness for your vehicle. You couple this in, because there again, heat reflectivity, because it does reflect heat back. It's a lot better to keep something like this that comes already organized in its own stuff sack than say some larger, more bulky systems. You've got different types of sleeping bags, but sleeping bags are typically meant to be stored hanging upright, not always in their stuff sack. They lose loft and they lose heat reflectivity because of loss of loft. This is going to be a good venture because it just folds up and fits nicely into this, which is made out of the same waterproof heavy-duty material as the base, which is where this is also going to come in handy for me. I don't have to worry about trying to have an extra sleeping bag stored someplace that may or may not be huge, unwieldy. I can have this in there and be pretty much well set as far as for what I know winter can throw at me. So let me know what you guys think about this blanket. I like it. The fleece, very well done, very well made. The whole thing, it's definitely going to serve me well. And I'll be giving you guys updates, because if I'm able to use this here next couple of camping trips, definitely let you know how it holds up after that, and then throughout winter as well, as we do have some winter campouts planned. So guys, remember, stay safe and get out there and practice. Later.